Do you ever feel like this homeschooling gig isn't for you anymore? I don't want you to push those feelings aside. Today, we're going to talk about it because the real truth is, as homeschool moms and grandparents and dads and any of us who do this, we all feel those feelings from time to time. Let's talk about homeschool burnout today. Grab some coffee, tea, or even water. Let's have a mom-to-mom chat. So I know for me, I have 3 triggers that will put me into mom burnout and that feeling of not being enough for my kids super fast. And I have 5 solutions that help change up our homeschool days that help me get out of it. I'm praying that one of these works for you. If you're new here, hi, my name's Tanya. I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kiddos. My oldest is 10. Her name is Lily. Our only son is Austin. He's 8, almost 9. And then we have 2 little girls that are 4 and 6. We've been homeschooling now this is our 7th year. And this is our first year on YouTube, and I love sharing with you guys. So leave me a comment down below and let me know which one of these either triggers that you can relate to or solutions that you feel like are gonna help you when you hit homeschool burnout. Because coming up in this January, February, even March season is the time that it really hits most us moms. Holidays are over, there's not a whole lot to look forward to, and it kind of just is dreary outside more days than not. This video is also a collab from the show and tell playlist that Jessica over at the Waldock Way and Abby at Rooted in Rest put on every month. If you're a fellow YouTuber, I would love for you to join us. Let me know what your channel is and I'll go watch that video that you made. But the playlist for all the videos in this collab will be linked below. So thanks Abby and Jessica for always putting these on every month. Homeschool burnout. Do I dare say it can happen more than once a year? Because I really do think that the feelings that homeschool burnout really do put on us can happen more than once a year. And I find that I have triggers that put me into this feeling of not feeling enough or feeling like I don't want to do school with my kids. Number 1 is my house being dirty. Now, we all have levels of dirtiness in our house, okay? Mine is just clutter. I don't like a lot of clutter. And when the house is cluttered, my brain feels cluttered, and then I just feel like a crazy person and I can't concentrate in school with my kids. So too many days of clutterness in my house makes me start feeling overwhelmed, and it's a snowball effect, and everything goes downhill from that. So I just really do try to stay up on top of the clutter each day. I do a nightly routine that I try to pick up the clutter, and no, it doesn't happen all the time, but I'm trying to train my kids to pick up after themselves. I'm trying to train myself to do it better. I heard this saying, I think it was from the Minimal Mom here on YouTube, or maybe she was referencing someone else, but it was one and done. So when you touch something, whether it's the dishes, when you want to go put them away, do it once and be done with it. Instead of just setting it in the sink so we can put them in the dishwasher later, just rinse it and put it in the dishwasher now. So that one and done method is what I'm trying to work on in all aspects of my life. But I do know that it's definitely a big trigger of mine to get in that feeling of homeschool burnout. The next one that I have on my list is too much TV. I feel like attitudes really start arising when we've had too much TV time. We all get lazy and we don't want to do anything else but watch TV in my house. And we love movies, we love Star Wars, we love Marvel, we just are a TV family, but too much of anything is a bad thing. When we have too much TV, that definitely affects our homeschool and house living situation. The next one is it's just being inside too much. When we start isolating ourselves and not getting outside, being around other people. And I know this is really hard right now with everything going on in our world, but go outside and walk. Walk around your property, walk around the neighborhood. We have a park next to us that we try to at least walk to a couple times a week. We have a new puppy, so we've been spending a lot of time in the backyard. Just spend time outside. When we are inside too much, we definitely start feeling cooped. We get on each other's nerves, and it can lead to fighting, which snowballs into attitude problems, which snowballs into me trying to like fix all the attitude problems and playing referee, and then I'm not being homeschool mom, and just all the things. Those are my number 3 big triggers that I find in my life that put me in a mental state of homeschool burnout. So how do I combat that with solutions, and how do I try not to fall into those ruts? It's hard, I won't lie. It's very hard. But the number 1 thing is try to change your setting. So if you're like us, you homeschool at a table. Ours is our dining room table. And now that we got the puppy, I have tried to do a lot of homeschooling on the couch, and so that we can all gather around on the floor and cuddle the puppy as I'm reading aloud, or even doing book work at the coffee table. And it kind of seems to help. And even if you just decide to do your read aloud, normally do it on the couch, go cuddle up in mom and dad's bed, because that's a new setting. And if it's nice out, go outside and do the read aloud. Changing the setting, but doing the exact same thing, there's something mentally different about it, and it changes kids' attitudes. It's the simplest thing that you can do, whether it's even like, we have taken a blanket into the playroom and done school there before. Simple, like the easiest little things that we don't always necessarily think of help us not feel like we're doing the same thing every day over and over again. I'm looking down at my list, and the next one I have is making time for the fun. I'm not saying keep up with the Joneses here. Hear me when I say make time for what you think is fun. If you think poetry tea time is fun, then make time for that. If you don't do it. For us, my kids really enjoy art right now, so we're trying to make time for different art projects and different crafting projects. They like movies. And so when we read a book and then watch the movie, like, we're making time for the fun in our homeschool. You just have to kind of assess what's fun for you and your kids and make that a balancing act. Don't do things that aren't fun for you. That's the freedom we have for homeschooling, is we get to have the fun that we want to have. And it doesn't always have to be educational. I fall in the trap. I love games, but I try to make them educational games. And my kids have caught on. Now that they're 8 and almost 9 and then 10, they know what's educational and what's not. But then on the games that they don't think is educational, they totally are, because they're either keeping score and that's giving them math practice. So make time for what you think is fun. So as I look at my notes, number 3 is mom time. And I have a couple bullets for this. I think it's important as a mom, and especially as a homeschool mom, you have something for you. Not the kids, not your husband, not for the house, but for you. Some kind of hobby, whether it's reading a book or knitting, or I've been making baskets, not very often, but I really enjoy weaving baskets lately. I've only made one completed. Something for you that you enjoy. That, I mean, it could be doing your nails, it could be going to get your hair done, just spending quality time on yourself. And with that category, you need to talk to someone. You need to know that homeschool burnout is something that we all, as homeschool moms, dads, like I said, grandparents, whoever's homeschooling, feel. We all feel it. Whether we talk about it or not, it is something that we all get into that mental state sometimes. you need to know you're not alone. So DM me if you need to DM me. I would love to talk to you. Just know you're not alone. Listen to podcasts, read a book. Just know that you deserve you time. And before all the mess of last year, I used to go out once a week. It used to be for a long time I would grocery shop, and that would give me that was the only time I could have my alone time. Now I really try to spend time reading or doing some kind of hobby, just mom time. It's very important. And please know and don't feel guilty that you're doing it, and know it's important. It's kind of like putting the mask on when you're in the airplane before you help anyone else. You have to help yourself first. Number 4 is changing things up. Now, again, like these all have caveats, because don't go change your homeschool curriculum. I will say definitely don't do that unless it's really not working for you, but I think we all get in sometimes this rut in the February season and we want to change it all up. Start small. If you homeschool 5 days a week, maybe change it to 4 days a week and do that on your fun Fridays, or 1 day a week you go to the park, have a play date. I feel like with Valentine's Day and even St. Patty's Day, they're not these big holidays that we necessarily take a week or 2 off like we just did with Christmas and Thanksgiving. Make sure you're taking that time off, whether it is schooling 4 days a week, whether it's schooling for this like Sabbath schooling where you school 6 weeks on and 1 week off. Make sure you're taking a break that works for you. Because here's the other thing, sometimes we take a break, like a week off, and we don't want to get back into it. Then don't take the whole week off. Like I said, do the 4 days on, do the 4 days on and 1 day off. Do what works for you, but make sure you're having your mom time, you're taking the breaks, because not only do your kids need it, you need it in your mental state as well. Last but not least, you knew I couldn't get through a video without planning, and record keep is my last tip. When we're in the homeschool burnout, for me, I know that I feel like we're not doing anything. We're not making progress. We're not getting anything accomplished. Everything's a mess. The house is a mess. My brain's a mess. The kids are just arguing like there's nothing, right? So, come here, buddy. I'm gonna get interrupted by Mando. This is Mando. Come here, buddy. You say hi. You say hi. And that's what mom burnout feels like. It just feels like everything's messed up, right? But when you record keep, you are writing down what you actually are getting done. Therefore, you're gonna be able to look back on the week or the day and actually see what you did. You're gonna see that things got done. You can count kids cooking breakfast or dinner or having a conversation with Nana and Grandpa, because that's an adult conversation, and in college you take a whole class on communication. So that's communication for the day. Don't sell yourself short and think you're getting nothing accomplished, because chances are you're getting way more done than you really think you are. So those are my 5 tips on how to try to get out of burnout. But the biggest one is just remember you're not alone. I shared some triggers that I know kind of get me into that snowball effect of homeschool burnout, and this is the season for it. A lot of places are gloomy. It's about 2 o'clock where I'm at right now, and the sun just came out for the day because it's so foggy from the time the sun goes down to about noon in the day. It's hard. It's hard to get outside. It's hard to feel like you're doing it, but I promise you, God handpicked those children for you. He picked you for them because you are wonderfully and beautifully and fearfully made for those children and to be their mom. So wherever you're at today, I hope you remember that. And let me know in the comments. DM me if you need someone to talk to. I would love to chat with you. And don't forget to check out everyone else's playlist down below and hear their tips and tricks of homeschool burnout, because we all are different and we're all going to experience things differently, and that's the beauty of how God made us. We'll see you in the next video, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye, friends.